You know, one would think that if you're going to set a horror movie in a slaughterhouse, it's definitely going to be a gore fest. Check yourself, son. The cinematic class is about to begin. Your professor is in. Greetings, salutations, and other sundry affair. I am your cinematic professor and a purveyor of truth. In movies, tonight's lesson plan is a film called The Slaughterhouse Killer. Now, with a title like that, you would think there would be an awful lot of gore. Yeah, but there really isn't. This movie was made in Tasmania. You think there might be a devil or two, right? Nah, there isn't any of that either. Let me tell you what's going on with this movie. What we have here is a fellow named Box, and Box is played by Craig Ingham. Now, Box is kind of a big, beefy, sloppy kind of guy who works in a slaughterhouse. Okay, he does just about everything in there. In fact, the place seems to be like without him it wouldn't run. Okay, all right. Now, the reason I mention this is because Craig is really good in this. He is not the typical type of actor you think of who would be, oh, this is going to be our leading man. No, he doesn't fit any kind of mold for that at all. But yet he does a really nice job in this movie, and it was really his performance that kind of kept me watching and kept me going on. He gets a new partner, Nathan, who comes in to work in the slaughterhouse, and Nathan is played by James Mason, not that James Mason. He's dead, okay? And what really sparks a type of friendship between these two is that we discover Box and Nathan are of a very similar mind. They have a process that they initiate, which is rather killing, if we be so blunt. And then thrown into this is Tracy. Tracy is played by Kristen Condon. And naturally, once you throw in the lady, well, the best laid plans of mice and men. Brainchild of Sam Curtin. He is the director, the writer, and the producer as well. The director of photography for the movie is Luke Marriott, and the special effects are handled by Arabella Barwick. Now, Arabella does an okay job. There are a few special effects which need to be put into the movie. But, as I said, for a film that is centered around a slaughterhouse, you would think this would be a gore fest, and it simply is not. In fact, most of the horror in this movie is very mild and very tame. I will tell you this. There is a scene which comes up after the credits. And it's a short little scene, but it's kind of crucial to the movie. So you need to sit through the entire credits and make sure the credits will end. It'll be black for a few seconds, and then the scene will pop up. And you want to make sure you see that because it kind of reveals an important aspect of the film, shall we say. Okay, the name of the movie is The Slaughterhouse Killer. Now, I want to mention some of the soundtrack on this because there are a lot of you who really like when the soundtrack for a movie features a lot of these what I consider obscure bands, but they're something that they're bands that have a large following. Just I guess they're not really commercial bands as a result. So I didn't know which bands were big and which artists were big in Tasmania. So I figured I'd let you know that contributing to the soundtrack in this movie are Neon Ridge, Max Hervey, and Barton Rage. Now, I don't know if you have heard of those guys. I know a lot of you follow bands online, and if you know of those three, there are a couple more thrown in there, but those are the three that contribute more than one song. And if you like those guys, their music is contained within this movie. Now, the studio has asked me if I would please put up a link for you to see this movie. That it's not being released in theaters, except over in Tasmania, of course. So here, the only way to see it is through VOD and streaming devices. During the final credits here, after this review, I will post the website up here where you can go, click on this website, and it will lead you to the movie, and then you can watch it on any of the streaming devices or services that you have. The name of the movie is The Slaughterhouse Killer. And now that you have learned what you have learned, here endeth your lesson.